I told you not to propose though.
You were never going to be ready.
You still proposed.
I had to force your hand.
That's why I said no. That's why I said no.
No, 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 no.
He said I said no 200 times.
207 times before she said yes. No, 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 no.
I don't know how true that is. I remember saying no. You know what I remember the most? Because when you proposed to me, we were looking the other side, the other way. And there was a photographer, but I didn't know. But in the pictures you will see where I'm holding him at the back here, convincing him like, no, this is not what we're gonna do right now. I think I spent a good 20 seconds just being like, please don't do this. Do you actually remember? Or like when you're so nervous? I'm like, babe, no, I'm trying to talk sense into his head. Please don't. This is not what we signed up for. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Welcome back to our channel.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, I am Hope.
I'm Joshua.
And we are Beyond Borders. I hope my shirt doesn't look too wrinkly, but anyway, that's not the point. He still proposed to me with my wrinkly shirt.
Yes, I did. And I would again. And that's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Is the proposal and why she said
no.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, why I initially said no when he proposed to me. So, first of all, we met in the States while I was still doing my PhD.
Yeah.
So we met first year of PhD and I still had, so my PhD was for 4 years. So we met at the very beginning. So I would say I still had my 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we met, I remember no, not in the beginning, but we dated. And I remember telling him that if you ever want to marry me, because I say that pretty early. First date, I was like, man, if you are going to marry me, first date, hands down.
This is true.
I said, if you're going to marry me, you will need to pay lobola. I explained to him what lobola is. I said, if you're going to marry me, you need to know that I'll be going back to South Africa after 4 years. Those were the two things I think I told him in the first date. Oh, the third thing that I told him was, this is not my hair, because I was wearing a wig. So those are three things that I told him in the beginning.
Yes.
And over time, I also told him, please don't propose to me. If you want to propose to me, please don't propose to me while I'm still studying. Because I want to finish my PhD first. I didn't want it to be one of those things where it almost like takes your shine.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I'm like, don't take my shine, boy, man. Not boy, because you can see he's a man, very handsome man. So yeah, and I had been telling him like, don't propose.
But from my perspective, when she was done with her PhD, she was going back to South Africa, and that was now set in stone. We knew that was happening for sure. And I knew that if she went back without a ring on it, that it might slip away. So I was not going to let that happen. And I followed all of her rules that she said. She said, don't ask her while she's still in school. It was after graduation.
No, it was before graduation, honey.
It was before graduation ceremony, but it was after the last day of classes.
Yes, so this man, the last day of class, he was like, okay, she's done. Before I graduated, he proposed.
The last day of class, I had planned a trip to Washington, D.C.
My favorite city.
For a week.
Yeah.
That we had planned for 3 months, so I didn't just meet her outside of the school or anything, guys.
Yeah, he did the whole thing.
It was a whole shebang we had planned out, and it was her graduation gift of her going to D.C. So, I mean, if you're receiving your graduation gift, I think you graduated. She wasn't like, my gift is early. She didn't say anything like that. So that's what it was. I had planned this trip for weeks and weeks and months to go to DC as a graduation gift for her. And
yeah, I thought it was a graduation gift.
She was out of school.
Yeah. I thought it was a graduation gift. And then he planned this whole thing, which was really, really sweet. Washington, D.C. is my favorite city. If you know me, you know I love Washington, D.C. So he knows it. So he says, hey, babe, I'm going to plan this trip. And I mean, he just does the whole thing, right? Now we're in D.C. And then he says, let's go. This is the day of the, fast forward, this is the day of the proposal. So he says, let's go to the Washington Memorial. Dress nicely. That's what he said.
I said, let's take lots of pictures. I was
Yes.
like, I just want to have pictures of this trip. And that's what I was really trying to focus on, because I knew she would want to look perfect for a proposal picture, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was just like, hey, I want to take a lot of pictures. So if you want to do anything to get ready for pictures. And she got a new wig.
Yes.
She got her nails done. She got all ready for it. And she thought it was just to go see Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, and I had told him before that if you are ever going to propose to me, get me drunk
She did.
so that I say yes.
Yeah.
He did not get me drunk. So of course I was going to say no.
There was a hang up. There was an issue. So the perfect time to shoot at the Lincoln Memorial, which I don't know if you all have seen the proposal photos on our Instagram.
We'll put them here.
Yeah, we'll show them. But they're beautiful. But you have to be there early in the morning because it's a total tourist destination. It
Yes.
becomes overrun, and then the lighting's just not nearly as good. So the photographer wanted us there at like 7:30, 8 a.m. And I said, listen, there's no way I'm going to be able to get her there that early without her finding out what's going on.
Yeah.
I was like, so like 11 a.m. is the absolute earliest. And he said basically 11 a.m. is the absolute latest. So he wouldn't let me go any later. So I tried. I kept saying, let's go to breakfast and get mimosas.
Yeah.
Let's go. And she just thought it was so strange because we never day drink. We barely drink at all.
Yeah.
So me suddenly saying like, hey, let's go have drinks at 9 o'clock in the morning was just not flying. So I really, really tried, but there was no way to get alcohol into this picture.
But it's so crazy because when I said get me drunk, I actually meant it. I was
Yeah.
like, there's no way I'm saying yes without alcohol in my
Right.
system.
I proposed to her fully analytical mind.
Sober. And
Yeah.
I am an overthinker.
Big time.
Yeah. So when I'm a little tipsy, at least I'm not overthinking. So that's why I've always said, when you propose to me, make me drunk a little bit so that I'm not recommending this to anybody, but I knew that was going to work for me.
Right.
That was going to be the only time that I'll be spontaneous, that I'll be able to just let go of all this overthinking and say yes. So now we are on the way and I'm dressed. I'm even in heels. I think we walked for like a kilometer or two.
Yeah. And she asked to bring extra shoes, and I was like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And stuff. Even right before we pulled up, she said she was hungry.
Yes.
And when Hope says she's hungry, I mean, in the back of the car, I have a glass case with boppin' chicken in it, and I'll break it in case of emergency. Because if Hope is hungry, it's important. It's very important that we get her food quickly. And I was
That's so
just
true.
like, we'll find something on the walk. I
Yeah.
was like, we can't do it now. We can't stop because they got a photographer
Waiting.
for, a rendezvous. Like we had to be there at a certain time.
The funny thing is, we had walked for like a kilometer or two, maybe 2 because it was about a mile. So about 2 kilometers, and this is a street away, not a street. We had to cross the road to the Lincoln Memorial, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm hungry. That's so wild because I don't think I'm like that.
Not usually, no. But this
Yeah.
time you were being stern.
I was.
And I had to be stern back and say like,
Yeah.
no food for you. We
I
have
said,
to go.
I wasn't saying we shouldn't go. I was saying before we go, let's go have some food.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying. But I was saying this is not going to happen right now. And Josh was just being nice. He was being so nice. I mean, he's always nice, but I was like, it's just, he was in a suit, dressed fully in a suit. So I was like, I didn't even think anything of it. Anyway, so now we get to the Lincoln Memorial, and then we go to the part where Lincoln is, and we're taking pictures with Lincoln, and then now we go outside. And this guy goes down on his knees. I wanted to faint. I wanted to disappear.
I think she went through, he's joking.
Yes, I thought he was joking.
Like she thought I was kidding.
Yeah.
And then she went through like anger.
Yes.
And then like how could you?
Yes. I'm like, why are you doing this to me?
You know, and then like slow acceptance.
And I was like, I had told you not to propose. That's it. That's what I was thinking. I had told you not to propose. And I don't know what was going on in his head when he proposed. What were you thinking?
I was thinking, it's now or never. It's now or never. She was going back to South Africa in like weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so I just had to. And I think she always said, wait till I'm done with school. And I think when she was done with school, so much was going on that the last thing she was thinking is, I've now essentially given him permission.
Yes, I forgot about it. I forgot about the promise. Not the promise, but like what I told you.
So in your mind, you were like, hey, I told you not to.
Yes.
And in my mind, I was like, you told me not to until 3 days ago, and now we're clear, you know. And to me, I thought, I planned a trip to your favorite city right when I was allowed to propose finally. I thought it was fairly obvious. I thought she was onto me somewhat, but didn't want to spoil it. I even think subconsciously you might have wanted to figure it out, but we're like, no, that can't be it.
Yeah, I did think of it. I'll tell you that. I'm like, what if he proposed? And then I was like, no, he's not going to propose because I told him not to. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
I was like, no, he's not going to propose. So now we get to the part of the proposal. And he's, I'm going through anger. I'm going through confusion, surprise. And I'm like, maybe it's happening. And in the pictures, you will see a part where I was holding his back like this. And the whole time I was trying to convince him, please, let's not do this. I don't think this is what you want. And I don't want this to be misconstrued as if I didn't want to be with you. Because I actually did, I wanted to be with Josh, but marriage? Honey, no. In my head, I was like, let me go back to SA. Let me figure out my life first and reestablish my life. And then we can talk about marriage.
You see how I was going to get cut out of that picture? Let me go back and restart my life. That's what you wanted to do. And that's why I locked it down.
Yes. And I've always been scared of marriage. For people who know me from a young age, I was just like, I don't know that I have seen nice enough marriages to want to sort of just gravitate towards that. I wasn't saying, oh yes, 100% I'm not gonna get married, but I was just like, I don't know if this is meant for me, So there was a little bit of me being scared in there.
Right.
And then I also don't like losing control, feeling like I don't have control of my life. And I felt like marrying somebody is just putting your control or your life or the trajectory of your happiness in someone's hands. So that's why I was a little skeptical. And if there's anybody that I was gonna marry, I feel like it had to be Josh, because he's one person that I understand and who understands me and who's very patient with me, because for anybody, I feel like they'll just be like, oh, she doesn't want to get married, so I'm not gonna force myself into her, almost looking at it in terms of rejection. Right. But me saying no, even there, was not rejecting you, but it was just almost protecting my own insecurities in a way, just being like, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna do this, I don't know if I can do this. So I'm glad that you were not, when I was saying no, you were not internalizing that as to she doesn't want to, because how did you feel when I was saying no and when I was trying to convince you to not marry me?
I feel like I went through the same emotions you did very quickly. I went from is she actually saying no? To oh my gosh, she's actually saying no? To I don't think she's actually saying no. And then you said yes. That went very quick, kind of worried, angry, laughing with you, humorous.
Yes.
And then acceptance.
Because at some point I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, I even tried like getting you up, you know, and you got up.
Yeah.
And the photographer was like, we didn't get any pictures, so we had to do it again. We had to actually reenact our engagement pictures, you know, where you see the part where I'm like, I'm reenacting that one.
It was a good reenactment.
Yeah, because we can, and I'm sure this is pretty common because, you know, because you're still surprised at that point.
Right.
So it's like reenactment, but it's almost like, is it really, you know? Cause
you're still in the moment.
Yeah, you're still in the moment.
And anyway, you can't tell the person like, hey, there's going to be photography for what I'm about to do.
Right.
You know, like you just have to deal with it. And you know, we have all the photos. We have the photos from the initial.
The initial one is me doing this. And also, I still had you put the ring on me. So yeah, I initially said no. So this is how the story went. I initially said no. He says I said no 200 times.
She went, no, 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 no.
And then I was like, you know, I tried getting him up. I tried, what is this, like rationalizing or reasoning with him. I tried reasoning with him, saying, no, this is not what we should be doing right now. And he still said, I stand my ground. I'm still proposing to you. And I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. Yes. And then I said yes. And then that's when the photographer was like, okay, you guys got to do this again. We need to take other pictures. And then, that's how I said no, yes later. And I didn't regret that afterwards. You know, I didn't even go through like a freak out of, did I?
No.
No, I was just like, okay, I guess this is it then. And I remember telling myself, we're just engaged, we're not married. I was like, this is not a marriage, this is just engagement. But honestly, like, that was a year ago, and now I am fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't regret it. I don't regret saying yes. I'm actually happy I did, and here we are. Do you regret being engaged to the love of your life?
Not at all. I'm happy.
So that's the story, guys.
That's it. It was a good one. It was a fun experience.
It was. So although I initially said no, I still said yes later. And here we are. So thank you guys for watching my channel.
Thank you so much. Let us know what you thought of the story. And I do have one question for everyone. I only hired a photographer, and that's what everybody does in the States. But she tells me everyone in South Africa,
not everyone,
or lots of people in South Africa, it's common to hire someone to video it too.
Yeah.
So I didn't video it. Do you think a photographer is enough? Should I have done both?
Yeah.
Should I have just done video?
But would you have wanted me saying no to be on video?
That's what I'm saying is my defense, you know, because it's like, I mean, yeah, I think overall I still would have wanted it. Maybe that would have just been for us,
right?
You know, to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because it really wasn't like she was fighting me. This whole story happened in 8 seconds. You know, it was.
I'm not sure about 8.
You know, maybe 25, but it wasn't very long.
Yeah.
It wasn't over 30 seconds.
No, that's true. It was like a lot of emotions at once.
Yeah. It was a lot of emotions at once.
Yeah,
and I think it's just because we hadn't really talked about it. But let us know what you think. Should I have taken a video?
Would you guys have wanted to see me saying no?
Would you have wanted to see the video of her saying no? I think the answer to that's going to be yes, but we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Thank you guys. Enjoy.
And see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye-bye.